Islam Makhachev must have the most incredible squeeze. His squeeze must be out of this world. Because you see how quick Charles tapped once he clamped that on him. I mean, poof, that dude is on another level.
Islam Makhachev is grinding harder than ever, sharpening every weapon as the final days tick down before he locks horns with Jack Della Maddalena. The champ isn't coasting into this one. Instead, he's pushing himself to the edge, dialed in, and treating this showdown like the most dangerous test of his reign, and experts too are weighing in with their opinions on the best way for Islam to approach the fight and their takes on the fight itself. Let's break it down, and never give him the room to activate the cheat code that makes this matchup dangerous.
Well, I think that Islam's best chances are going to be really, really early. And I said it, if he can get him down early. Now, the Craig Jones element is a hack. It is a cheat code. Now, if you can get a man down early and just finish him before he gets started on his cheat codes, problem solved. If I'm Islam, you got to try to catch this man, because Jack's not the great, like he wasn't like the greatest grappler prior, right? Like he doesn't come from like a grappling background. Like he's competent, but if you can catch him early and get him to make a mistake early and then just never let him out, never let him get to his cheat code. That's where Islam's going to excel.
But Khabib isn't letting Islam rely on anyone's game plan alone, not even Din Thomas's. He's pushing Islam through brutal, laser-focused sessions, making sure every detail is perfect and sharp. And if you need proof of how seriously they're taking Jack, just look at the lake of sweat on the mats after each workout. Islam's not just training, he's being trained for war. And while Khabib is grinding Islam through those brutal, sweat-soaked sessions, the physical transformation is getting noticed too. Tim Welch even pointed out that Islam's walking around close to 195 pounds now, powered up on creatine and looking every bit like a solid welterweight. With that kind of size and strength showing, he's starting to look less like a lightweight champ and more like someone who might not stay at 155 much longer.
For sure. But JDM, Islam, they say Islam's walking around in shape at about 195 pounds. He says he's taking creatine now, and the dude looks like a fucking welterweight. I don't know if he's ever going back to 155 pounds.
What's he walking at right now?
They say he's walking around 195, 196, solid.
Did you just say that?
No, yeah, just
He doubled down on it too. Islam has admitted before that after those brutal cuts to 155, he walks into the cage feeling barely 60% of what he should be. And honestly, it tracks. People have claimed that back in his earlier lightweight days, he'd ballooned back up to nearly 205 pounds after rehydrating. He's not the only one either. Plenty of big lightweights, even guys like Drakkar, fight weak and look absolutely massive.
yeah, because Islam said in the past, he says after those weight cuts to 155 pounds that he's probably at 60% when it comes to going into the cage, which would make sense. Some people have said in the past when he was fighting at 155, he'd get all the way up to 205 pounds. And I see a lot of lightweights do that. Drakkar sometimes could get up to 200, 205 pounds and just be fucking huge.
With all that in mind, Michael Bisping sees why Islam is such a heavy favorite. The guy is on another level. His Dagestani link with Team Khabib and Abdulman Nurmagomedov has shaped him into a different breed of fighter, but even the best are still human, and that's where JDM's preparation comes in. Bisping points to Jack's last fight against Belal Muhammad as the perfect warm-up for facing someone like Islam. Belal, in many ways, fights a style similar to Makhachev, a stronger welterweight version, and showed how effective it can be, controlling the pace, out-wrestling his opponent, landing heavy shots, and never tiring. Those are the same traits Islam brings, which is why the matchup is so compelling.
Now, Islam is a big favorite, and I kind of understand why, okay? Because he's a special kind of fighter. When you look at him, the lineage that he has for number one from the Dagestan with Team Khabib and Abdulman Nurmagomedov, they're cut from a different cloth. They are a different breed. But they are still only human. Now, of course, Jack Della Madalena's last fight was against Belal Muhammad, and I've said this multiple times. That is the perfect warm-up fight. If you're going to face Islam Makhachev, The fight before it, by the way, when you become champion of the world, you go up against Bilal Muhammad, who's kind of in some ways a welterweight version of Islam Makhachev. Yes, that sounds insulting to Islam, but they've got very, very similar styles. Look at what Bilal Muhammad was able to do to Leon Rocky Edwards when he took the belt off him in Manchester, okay? It was a great performance. He went out there, he pushed the pace, he out-wrestled him, he picked him up, he slammed him on the head, he landed with the hands. It was a really good, strong performance, okay? He never gets tired. He is very strong. He's got phenomenal grappling, and they're all attributes that Islam Makhachev has as well.
On the other side, Bisping points out that JDM is clearly the superior striker. If this fight stays standing, he'll have the edge, though Islam's striking has been steadily improving. He showed some slick moments against Dustin Poirier, landed solid kicks, and looked comfortable on the feet. Sure, he's been caught before. His only knockout loss came to Adriano Martinez, but in MMA, everyone has losses. Legends like John Jones, Anderson Silva, and GSP all took hits in their careers. Islam bounced back in style and is now on the brink of history. 16 wins in a row, tying Silva's record, and one more would make it 17, the longest winning streak in UFC history. That alone is reason enough to respect the champ.
They're cut from a different cloth. They are a different breed. But they are still only human. Now, of course, Jad de la Maddalena's last fight was against Bilal Muhammad, and I've said this multiple times. That is the perfect warm-up fight. If you're going to face Islam Makhachev, the fight before it, by the way, when you become champion of the world, you go up against Bilal Muhammad, who's kind of in some ways a welterweight version of Islam Makhachev. Yes, that sounds insulting to Islam, but they've got very, very similar styles. Look at what Bilal Muhammad was able to do to Leon Rocky Edwards when he took the belt off him in Manchester, okay? It was a great performance. He went out there, he pushed the pace, he out-wrestled him, he picked him up, he slammed him on the head, he landed with the hands. It was a really good, strong performance, okay? He never gets tired. He is very strong. He's got phenomenal grappling, and they're all attributes that Islam Makhachev has as well. On the flip side, Jad de la Maddalena is by far the better boxer. If this fight stays on the feet, and we know Islam, by the way, has been improving the striking all the time. He had some moments against Dustin Poirier. He looked pretty good on the feet. He's got some nice kicks, but he has been cracked. He has been knocked out, and of course, that's the one loss on the record to Adriano Martins.
Declaring the winner by knockout, Adriano Martins.
Doesn't matter. They all have losses. Jones has a loss. All right, it doesn't really count. Anderson Silva has losses. George St. Pierre has losses. So I don't give a damn about that one. Mixed martial arts, he got cracked, 4-ounce gloves, he got caught. Islam came back, he did it in style, and now he's on the verge of making history, of joining Anderson Silva for having 16 wins in a row. That alone needs to be celebrated. And if he gets one more win, that would be 17 wins in a row, the longest win streak in UFC history.
JDM clearly sees the silver lining in his last bout, just the same as Bisping. Facing Bilal Muhammad for 5 rounds forced him to deal with constant pressure and a grappling heavy style. A mini preview of what awaits against Islam. Different opponent, different moves. Very straight into his showdown with Makhachev.
We just saw an interview or a video that Michael Bisping made where he said that he felt like the fight with Bilal was the perfect warm-up for you for this fight. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, that's what I was sort of thinking as well. Like grappling heavy style, pressure, different style, but yeah, good warm up for sure.
Perfect. Yeah, and a training partner as well.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it was perfect warm up. 5 rounds against a grinding sort of wrestler.
But JDM isn't coming in blind either. He says their team has cooked up another sharp game plan with a few tricks they haven't shown yet. He knows Islam is a monster on the mat and a far deadlier finisher than Bilal ever was. No debate there, but he still believes he can flip the script. In his mind, he can surprise people in the grappling exchanges, keep the fight standing when it matters, and walk out with the upset win.
We feel like we've got another good game plan. I feel like I've got some good tricks. Obviously, Islam's very good on the floor, a good finisher, definitely probably a better finisher than Bilal, no doubt. So, but I feel like I can, again, shock the world in the grappling department, keep it on the feet, and
he went on to mention a recent conversation with Israel
get the win.
Sure. Now, you were talking recently with Israel Adesanya, of course, the great champion from your region of the world, on the other side of the world from where you are right now. And you were talking about kind of just the wrestling element and that kind of thing, and how never stop moving is kind of a key element of countering that. How much are you able to kind of adjust that and maybe potentially add that to your strategy in this fight versus like your normal, typical way that you tend to fight?
I mean, it's similar. I think, not stop moving. I think Islam, if he can get on top of you and you give him time to sort of get to better positions, I think he'll just keep getting to better positions until he can get the finish. I think keeping moving, never letting a position.
The fight world is also coming in strong with their picks, and Khamzat kept it simple but telling. He said both guys make for a compelling matchup, and seeing Islam move up only adds to the intrigue. In his eyes, Makhachev is likely to lean even harder on his wrestling this.
Jack or Islam? Islam выиграет эти два района, и Jack with эти два. Мы как тренер, мы asking he coach brother wait what he gonna say, we'll see. Your opinions? 10% от Madalenas. Islam não sabia do era. Coach says 55% Madalena, 45 Islam, but I think Islam will see. Both good fighters. Islam moving up, it's interesting to see what's he gonna do. But I think Islam will be more, he's gonna use his wrestling more in this fight.
On the other hand, Modestas isn't afraid to go against the popular opinion. He sees Jack Della Maddalena as a real threat. According to him, Jack's counter even a tough wrestling-heavy opponent. Modestas believes that with the right timing and strategy, Jack can neutralize Islam's strengths and make this fight his own. In the end, he's putting his money on Della Maddalena pulling off the win.
I think Jack Della Maddalena, that might be sort of against sort of popular opinion. Yeah, like he's got very crisp boxing. Obviously, Islam's got very good striking also, but I think like he'll have what it takes to deal with that wrestling.
Building on that striking discussion, Santiago Luna warns that if Islam tries to trade punches with Jack, he's in striking. Even so, when it comes to picking a winner, Luna still gives the nod to Islam, trusting his experience and game plan to carry him through.
And yeah, I've got to go with Jack.
Oh my God. If Islam wants to stand up with Jack, I think it's a no-no for him. He's gonna get finished just because Jack has really good striking. If he decides that would be the smart way to do and wrestle him and grapple him, I see him getting Jack tired and then beating him up now on standing up. That would be the plan if I was Islam. But if it was a me for the take.
However, Ayman Zahabi sees this fight as a corner and a team focused on keeping him calm under pressure. Zahabi believes JDM has the strategy and skill to outperform expectations and possibly pull off the upset.
Just because I love his style, JDM.
Yeah, that's a crazy fight. That's a 50-50 fight in my book. I was really impressed with the JDM when he fought Bilal. I didn't think it would go that way. I thought for sure Bilal would be able to get him down, hold him down at least a little bit at the time. And JDM did fantastic. I liked how he was blocking and how he was mixing up the strikes to not get taken down. He's the bigger guy against Islam too. I don't know. Like I think he has a chance to beat Islam, man. As much as people they love Islam, I love Islam too. I think he's gonna be one of the greatest of all time at lightweight. But he's going up a weight class here, and Volkanovski's smaller than JDM, and Volkanovski was able to survive the first time against Islam getting taken down, getting his back taken and stuff like that. And JDM's been working with Craig Jones, and a lot of it is about know-how and how to stay calm when somebody has your back and somebody is on top of you. And I feel like he's got the right team.
So, what's your take? Can Jack shock the world, or will Islam's wrestling? That subscribe button for all the latest fight breakdowns.